Welcome to the Planet B podcast, where truth, transformation, and faith converge. Join us as we flip the script on ecological despair, guided by Dr. Sailesh Rao's vision for a compassionate, rewilded vegan world. Let's begin the journey to the greatest transformation in human history.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 30 of the Planet B podcast. And today we are going to explore how each and every one of us can help create Planet B. Wonderful. So, Dr. Rao, if you don't mind, let's start with this wonderful opening quote by Kevin Anderson.
Yeah, Kevin Anderson is a climate scientist, and he said the situation is so urgent in the environment that we have to do everything you can possibly do and then a lot more. So it's literally saying, give it everything you have. And I think that's the right attitude, because we have to, all of us together, have to see if we can pull this back and see if you've gone past the point of no return or not.
Wonderful. And you begin chapter 30 with the quote, if you're not already active, then it is time to get active. If you are already active, then it's time to get more active. Why is it important for not only people at this time to move towards the vegan lifestyle, but also to encourage the ones who are already vegan to become what you call pro-vegan?
Oh, well, the pre-vegans to pro-vegan. This is what Abhinav Ubuntu is talking about. When he has this Veganers Academy where he teaches vegans to go and advocate in such a way that those who are not vegan at least understand what the vegans are trying to do. And then they say, okay, even if I'm not vegan, I'm pro-vegan.
Right.
So pre-vegans to become pro-vegans. That requires, basically telling the story of Planet B. We're all doing this transformation, and vegans are just a little bit ahead of you. That's all. Otherwise, we're all on this journey, right? Everyone is going to come along eventually. I'm absolutely convinced of that. And so this is why, it's pick your role. How are you going to contribute to this?
Right. And you discussed 4 different roles within this transformation at the beginning of chapter 30. So if you don't mind, we could go through those one by one. And the first role are the trailblazers.
Yeah, the trailblazers are the intellectuals, the vegans, the ones who are ahead of the curve. They're the innovators who are getting out and trying new things. And so they know there is something wrong and they're trying to solve the problem. So there are lots of innovators and trailblazers out there now. So every vegan is a trailblazer, because you've gone out of the herd and you're saying, I'm going to do something different. Right?
All right.
Every vegan is fundamentally a trailblazer. But then there are others who are not yet vegan, but they're working on other aspects of this transformation. They're trying to clean up the chemical pollution. They're trying to reduce fossil fuel use. They're all trailblazers. Everyone who's trying to help the planet is a trailblazer. It's like you're getting out of the system and trying something new. Now it's coordinating all of us together. That's what we need to do. So that's the first kind of people who are going to help the transformation, the trailblazers. And the second are the illuminators. These are the storytellers who tell the story of Planet B, and they make it enticing so that everyone wants to join us. Storytelling is so important in human affairs because of stories that we come together and we create a herd, right? A herd believes a story. That's why we're all together. And so we need a story that can inspire all 8 billion of us to join. And that's the role of the illuminators, to tell that kind of story. And the third type of people who help make this transformation happen are the protectors. And the protectors are the ones who protect Planet B from Planet A. Because Planet A is trying to kill it. We are used to this way of living and we don't want anything different. But the protectors are saying, look, you may need it because you may not have a planet if you keep going this way. right? So,
Mm.
so you need protectors who are funding Planet B projects, who have made money in Planet A, but they're deploying it to help Planet B come to
Right.
fruition. So they're the protectors. And the fourth are the hospice workers. And they're the ones who are helping systems on Planet A die peacefully. No, seriously, because Planet A is in hospice, right? Because
Right.
Planet A is, in its death throes right now. You can see it.
Mm.
All its
Yeah.
stories, nobody's buying its stories, and
Mm.
the institutions are falling apart, and you can see it happening now. So Planet A is in hospice, and your hospice workers are those who tell Planet A, it's okay to die. It's okay. We can take these resources and build something new with it on Planet B.
Yeah.
So those are
Mm.
the four kinds of people who work on transforming Planet A to Planet B. But at any given point in time, you can be playing any one of those four roles. So every one of us could be playing any one of those four roles. It's not like you are an eliminator and that's it. You don't do anything else. Sometimes you're an innovator, a trailblazer. Sometimes you're a hospice worker. Sometimes you're a protector. So
Yeah. That's beautiful. I think just kind of going through these individually, like you mentioned, the trailblazers are the ones who are vegan now, and as we're moving into the vegan world, more people are jumping towards Planet B. It's sometimes challenging because there's a lot of pushback. But like any trailblazer, when you're going against the norm, then there are going to be those challenges.
right, yeah, they're going to call you extreme, you know, all kinds of
Yeah.
labeling, right? And then you have to point out to them, what is extreme? Trying to heal the planet, is that extreme? Really? Isn't destroying the planet extreme? Isn't killing 90 billion animals every year extreme? So, what we consider extreme and what we consider to be normal is flipped on
Right.
planet A versus planet B. It's exactly the opposite, right?
Yeah, but it's interesting when you talk about Ubuntu, like when I watch his videos, like everything he does is about love. Like so
Absolutely.
it just in Dr. Rao, what you talk about as well too. So it's this calmness, this positivity that radiates, and then that brings people into it just through that loving feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Because love is the only solution. You know that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Love is the only way out of this. And we see a way out. We know that there is a way that we can establish scientifically is the best thing to do. You need to help people come along. Yelling at them is not going to do it, right?
All right.
So you have to show this quiet confidence that this is going to happen.
All right.
Okay. So in my mind, we are already in Planet B. We're already in a vegan world. In every engineering project that I worked on, I always said, in my mind, the project was done. Why? Because I had
Mm,
already mapped out how it's going to be done.
yeah.
I had written a guide. This is what I normally do. I write a guide for all the others as to what I see is the way forward, okay, to the best of my ability. And then people refine it. So my initial model that I created for the internet, people refined it. And then
Mm,
we implemented it. Refined it based on people coming back and saying, hey, it's actually difficult to do it this way. If you just tweak this, it's better. It's easier. I said, okay, I'll accept it. And I put it in the model, right? And I test it and make sure it does work. So similarly, I'm trying to write a guide for Planet B. How do you do this transformation from Planet A to Planet B? And so there, again, it's this role that you have to pick, what role you have to pick. And everyone, you say, what do I do next? Now that I've done this, what do I do next? You have a precise algorithm for picking how to do the next action. In the Bhagavad Gita, which is the dialogue between man and God in the Hindu scriptures. And basically man is telling God, hey, you're God, so why don't you solve the problem yourself? Why do you want me to fight this, right? Battle of life. And God says, I fight the battle of life through you. So you're my instrument, so you have to help me. And then he gives him a formula for how to find the next right action. So he says, everybody has a role to play. So we each come with our strength, and we are trying to push planet A into planet B. So how do you find your role? So first you consider, what are you good at? What would you really like to do? If you had all the options in the world, what would you really like to do? So that's what is known as Swadharma. What is the right thing to do for myself? Swa means myself. Dharma is what is the right thing to do. Okay? What is the right thing to do for myself? Then you consider your family circumstances. So that's called Kula Dharma. So what is my family? What is in the best interest of my family for me to do? Okay. Third is Yuga Dharma, which is what is the right thing to do for the age that we are in. You know, the age that has ice melting in the Arctic, extreme weather happening all over the place. So what does that tell you is the right thing to do? And the fourth is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma literally means what is the right thing to do on the basis of love and compassion, okay, which is universal principles. And he says, okay, consider these four aspects and then choose. Okay. Choose, act, let go of the fruits of your action. So meaning don't be attached to the fruits of your action. Evaluate and repeat. So you keep at it, right? You keep at it. You never give up. And so why do you let go of the fruits of your action? Basically, it says the results of your action are not in your hands.
Right.
It's in the hands of the universe. It's in the hands of higher power. And so if you intended to do something and that didn't happen, and you shouldn't get frustrated.
Right.
So if you're attached to the fruits of your action, if you're attached to the results, you will get frustrated because it didn't happen.
So true.
Right?
I think we all feel that one.
Right. And so he's saying it didn't happen not because your intentions were wrong. It's just that there were other things in the universe that you couldn't overcome because you're just one person trying to do it.
Right.
So you have to then dispassionately evaluate why it didn't happen and figure out the next course of action for yourself. And you can only dispassionately evaluate if you're not attached to the fruits of your action.
Right.
So if you're able to step back and say, okay, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? I see why. I should have done it this way. And then you go about doing that. So it's, you're pushing this way, and then finally something gives, and then you go through, right? And that's planet B. And then you bring everyone along. So we have a good news to tell people. We know the best way forward to address all 7 planetary boundary transgressions. Okay, I've evaluated this. I've been studying this for the last 20 years, and there is nothing else that comes anywhere close to what vegan rewilding can do. Go vegan and rewild the planet. There's nothing else that comes anywhere close to that. It's simple and it works, and it involves everybody. So when you involve everybody in a non-violent action like that, you will achieve world peace.
Yes.
So it's a way forward for both world peace and planetary health. And that's what excites me about this, because people have been looking for world peace for such a long time.
Yeah.
And now that you have a common purpose, a common mission, right? Of course, there are people who are going to say climate change is not happening, but they are the same people who are fighting over who gets to rule the Arctic, as the ice melts,
Mm.
you know.
Hmm.
They clearly know the ice is going to melt,
Yeah.
which means they've been pretending that climate change is not happening. They know it's happening.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's wonderful too when you illustrate this story out of the Bhagavad Gita that highlights that God is calling man to action and that God works through all of us. Like that's part of our role as humans on planet Earth during the greatest transformation in human history.
yeah. That is radical sacredness. Radical sacredness is seeing the divine in everything,
Mm.
right? And that's what I said. We are transitioning to veganism and radical sacredness. So this is really, the Garden of Eden coming back,
Yeah.
returning to the Garden of Eden. And it's a metaphor
Yeah.
that a lot of poets have talked about it, lots of novelists have talked about it. And it's just that we now have to actually do it. And that is, to me, the greatest transformation in human history, where we really set out to accomplish what everybody has been dreaming about.
Right. I think it's important that like you talk about and Ubuntu Ubuntu talks about is just being a trailblazer with compassion because it's
Mhm.
everyone wants peace. They want world peace. Everyone wants a beautiful planet. You know, unfortunately, it's we've all just been taught into this system, and some people are just a little bit more seeing it than others at this time. But that doesn't mean that other people won't come along for the ride. It just means that maybe we need to be more loving, more compassionate, and just be there for them when the time comes.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone will find their place in it. You know,
All right.
everyone has a gift to give.
It's exciting because it is the solution and everyone wants world peace. So it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
I really believe it's going to happen very, very soon. Maybe even this year,
2026 is the year.
right? When people accept that we need to do it, and then we'll be figuring out how to really do it.
Yeah, very good. So at the end of chapter 30, you provide a quote from Lord Krishna to Arjuna, which is, I love you so much that I set you free even from me, and you are free to choose.
Love always comes with freedom. You cannot coerce someone. Coercion is an act of control, and that comes from fear. And this is why Lord Krishna told Arjuna, even after giving him all that advice, he said, you are free to choose whether you want to fight or not. The same thing we have to do with every human being. We have to say, you're free to choose whether you want to come to planet B or not. Right? But there'll be majority of us are going to go there eventually, right? And
Yeah,
then you're going to feel like, oh man, I've been left behind. And then you'll come along. Everybody will come along eventually.
yeah, that's wonderful. And then right at the end of your final chapter here, you say a system based on love on planet B has freedom at its core.
Right. Absolutely. Because of that, yeah. It's freedom at its core. Freedom is a little messy, but it's like seeing bees flying towards something. Not every bee makes a straight line, to where it needs to go. There's some bees are wandering around,
Yeah,
right? And you
yeah,
need them too. Those who are wandering around, they may find a better flower to go to.
all right, all
So
right,
you have to allow, diversity of opinion. You have to allow diversity of ways, and know that everyone has their own path to come to.
mm,
So it begins with faith, knowing that this is going to happen and that you're part of something much larger and that you're just an instrument.
yeah,
So that faith, I have acquired it thanks to my granddaughter. So that's helped calm me down, to the
yeah.
15 years now. Yeah.
Hmm. And it's interesting because even that wandering bee, it comes back to the hive eventually.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
well, Dr. Rao, as we wrap up chapter 30, what closing words would you like to share with our audience today?
I am privileged to be working with all of you, and it's my greatest joy to be alive at this time.
Well, thank you, Dr. Rao, and we're all excited to be here too, because Planet B is coming in 2026 is the year.
There you go.
So thank you all so much for joining us. If you made it through chapter 30, wow, it's been quite the journey. So thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Rao. And we do have one final episode in store, which will be the epilogue, the hero's marathon journey. So if you've made it this far, I hope that you'll make it through episode 31. So thank you all so much, and we'll see you again. Bye.
This has been a podcast from Planet B, where compassion isn't controversial. If you haven't moved here yet, we thank you for visiting.
And it's literally been a marathon journey. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes.
you well. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Brittany.
So I was wondering, for your next book, are you going to help explain how we can help bring others in through, I guess, our peer network in a way? Because I feel like there's a separation between what we can do and then what we can help others do around us.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering, is it a separate book or is it part of this book? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this book has the guidebook, a guide to Planet B, has sections. The first one section is about how you can change, and the second is how you can change within a community, and how you can change within institutions if you're part of an institution, things like that. So I'm trying to break it down, so it's
Yeah, it sounds like it's part for mainly the individual. So I'm asking because I'm thinking, how do I delineate all the book titles? So since this sounds like it's for the individual, the incorporation of others, it might be another book, right? That's what I'm thinking.
there are 6 sections to the book. I'm
Yeah.
on section 5 right now. I'm writing section 5, which is like a policy guide, and then I have another section I have to write on tools and things like that. Yeah. I'm trying to make it comprehensive. It's a definitive guide. But of course, each portion. So my idea is that after the book gets published, we'll put it in a wiki format, and then we can all work on it together. It be editable and so on.
I kind of worked on something called a repair wiki, where they would show how everyone would add how to repair like electronics. So maybe this one's more of like an infrastructure one for building Planet B.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sai?
Regarding freedom, I was trying to understand that quote you mentioned from Bhagavad Gita, but many people, many non-vegans, when we try to tell them, they say it's our personal choice, and it's like they just hide behind these words. You
Mhm.
know,
Right.
they just many of them say the personal choice. I think that's whether they say it or not. Actually, that's what they think. At least that's
Mhm.
what I understand.
Right.
So how can we break that? I mean, that's something which we need to break into, right? That
Right. Yeah.
wall which non-vegans have created around themselves.
Correct. Yeah. So it's a personal choice, provided society is okay with it, right? So as soon as society says it's not a personal choice, it's actually um, causes harm to others, like what happened to secondhand smoking, then everyone is okay with restrictions being put on. You have to go outside to smoke. You have to go into a separate place to smoke. You know. So that basically, society said it's no longer a personal choice.
Mhm.
It's because it has impact on others. Now, to me, eating animals is much bigger than smoking
Yeah.
when it comes to its impact on others.
Mm.
So you literally have to tell people to go to the moon and eat, if you want to eat meat, something like that. It's that bad, right?
Yeah.
But we haven't yet, the society hasn't yet gotten to that point. Everybody is still in the same trance.
Yeah.
And so it's how do we sort of blast into the consciousness of everyone
Yes.
that this is happening. We're gonna, we're trying. We're gonna figure something out on how to do that. So
Okay.
we also have people who are experts at blasting, among the vegans.
And this blast has to be from 360 degrees, like from every angle. Because to me, the way I put it is that the logic to go vegan is inescapable. You can't escape. It's like airtight, like from all aspects.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, the good news is there is a um, large environmental conference that happens in Dallas every year. It's called EarthX. Okay. And I've been invited to come and deliver the keynote. So we are getting into the mainstream.
When is this keynote?
April 20th to 22nd. I don't know which day it will be, but uh, it happened like today and yesterday.
Okay.
Someone introduced me to the organizer, and the
Oh wow.
organizer has invited me to deliver the keynote.
Okay.
So
That's a great news.
yeah, we are getting into the mainstream. That's good news.
Okay.
Ray?
Hey, Dr. Rao, this is one of my favorite topics and my favorite charts that, of course, I've got it as a background.
Right, right.
And my background has a few more details. You've got the construction of the old system and the new system, and all the dots, the roles that we could play. But it's also got the dots in the middle that represent the people that have walked out of the system. And this is where veganism is so important. Veganism is walking out of a system. Plant-based is walking out of the system of eating meat, but veganism is walking out of so many different specific aspects of our society, and it's doing something that's brave, and that's critical to changing systems. You have to be brave to change a system. If you want to be not that vegan, what we mean by that is I don't want to be that vegan. That vegan who talks about being a vegan,
Right.
that gets put in their place when people say, "Hey, we don't want to hear you talk about it." We need to talk about it. And we need to walk out of that system. And Deborah Fries and Meg Wheatley, who designed this double loop system, they have a book called Walk Out, Walk On. And it's not specifically about veganism. It doesn't have veganism in it at all. It's just alternative societies, alternative communities that have walked out of the current system because it doesn't work for them. And emphasis on communities. Veganism is a community. A lot of people don't want to identify as a vegan because they don't feel they need a new community. So they'll be waiting. They're still in the status quo. But the point of these, as soon as you walk out of the status quo, your options are huge. Not just one. You join vegans and now you follow the vegan law. There's no vegan law. There's no vegan police. There's only the people who believe intensely in one of these alternatives and tries to convince everybody else to join it. It could be read a book by Gary Francione and now I'm an abolitionist. Veganism is the baseline. Listen to a few talks by Wayne Shung and now activism is the baseline. And veganism is subservient to that. So there's lots of different options. Which one's right? And then people fight about it. And then people get upset because there's all this infighting going on. And as soon as I became vegan, as soon as I became an activist, they kind of happened at the same time. Actually, activists first, vegan activists first, and then I started to walk the walk. But I came across this in a TED Talk. It was about eating locally in local communities around food. But this diagram showed all these different options, and at first there isn't this connecting line. It's just a whole bunch of different dots. And I said, well, okay, so that explains the infighting. There's a whole bunch of options once you get here, but when all those dots are connected by the main thing, they may have a bunch of different ideas, but the main thing is that this new system has to happen. And when all these dots, no matter whether they're abolitionists or welfarists, are probably the ones that are just out of the system, right? They still believe in the superiority of humans and their right to consume their bodies, but they want better conditions for them. But it's a stepping stone. You can see that's like everything is getting more radical as we get to our new system. These are all stepping stones. Not only can you play all these different roles at any given time, change your hat. I'm an illuminator today, but I came up with an idea that's an absolute trailblazer. Or I am concerned about what happens to the farmers once we end animal agriculture. You need to have hospice workers to help them survive. We don't want anybody left behind. Some people have a heart for that. Other people say, hey, you can be a good business person and follow the trend, or you get left behind. So everybody's got a heart for these different things, but there's also a different, you can be involved in all these different things. These are stepping stones. So some people get more radical with their activism. Some people burn hot. I'm a new vegan and I've got all this vigor and quite often a dose of anger to go with it. And then they can mellow out and join a different love-based movement. So the connection between all these is so critical because it helps us understand once we get into some part of the movement that it's about you deciding where you fit best. What are you good at? What can you do to help the protectors? Some people stay in the status quo, but they're helping to change from within. And obviously, once you become vegan, once you become an advocate, you're kind of a soldier in a war and you need some protection. We are so focused on the rights of animals. We also need rights for vegans. We also need rights for animal rights activists. We have people in the movement that are going to jail. We need to help the people they're putting their necks on the line. And you may do that from your salaried job in the status quo of Planet A. But you could be helping develop Planet B at the same time.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you.
I didn't eventually have a question out of that, but
no worries. No, I love hearing you talk like that. You're passionate. Toby?
Hello, Dr. Rao. Another great episode. I was wondering, you saying we've got a spiritual movement which is happening, and when when you look at religions, they all seem to have a very similar story, and they connect in lots of different ways. Do you know of any religions, or if they agree that they all this is supposed to happen, like it's written in the books, like this spiritual shift is happening? Because I hear in like the Mayan stuff, like time kind of repeats itself and things like that. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, people talk about the apocalypse, right? But literally, it is revelation. It's the revelation. So there are lots of these legends in almost every culture of how we are going to finally see what reality is. That's what really revelation is. Yeah, see the reality for what it is, and then respond accordingly, respond accurately to that reality. Which is really all we are trying to do. We are saying, okay, we have been living in in this haze with all these myths. Now we need to create axioms and then design according to axioms. So it's a conscious design that we need to do. To me, it's about coming into seeing things as they are.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that I've talked about the Durban Addendum quite a lot with you, which I think is really, really good idea, and a few people have signed it. And maybe this can, play into it, where it's like we all agree that this transition has always been talked about and it's happening right now. We need to, all connect and do something about it. I've got a question about that. Who can sign it? As priests can sign it, or is it?
No, anyone can sign it. It's just that we haven't created the portal for people to sign, because it was only done during COP 17. And but it's very simple. No double addendum. It's just 2 sentences.
Yeah.
And if you can get lots of people to sign that, that's probably a good pledge to take us to planet B.
Right. And where can it be signed? Oh, we don't have anything yet. He said
We don't have anything yet. Yeah, we don't have anything. We could probably put that in the Planet B website.
Right.
Place to sign the double addendum.
Yeah, that'd be good. It's like you say, this spiritual transformation is, could be one of the most powerful parts of veganism, one of the most powerful portals. If we all agree, there's so many people who are religious, and yeah, a great episode. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Is it Lumac or Deepak? Okay.
It's my Planet B alter ego. I joined it through. Sorry about that.
No worries.
But since we're discussing about Gita, I've actually been going through the Gita course. So I'm actually on day 2. So one question that since we are here, I can talk about that. So doing the work without attachment, right? But we are still kind of tracking, like, am I going the right direction or not? So the question comes when I'm tracking and it's not going right. So like I do tend to take it personally that okay, then maybe I am like, how that detachment again is like hard. If you're tracking and then to detach is hard. If you just go do the work and like don't even like, so I hope you understand what I'm getting at.
Yeah. No, the object, the way you do it is you act, then you evaluate the results of your action, right? And because suppose you don't get the results that you wanted, I mean, obviously you have some goal when you act, right? But if you don't get that result, it's not because your intentions were wrong. It's because you're part of a much larger universe, and there are countervailing forces that are working against you, maybe, right? So you have to then dispassionately evaluate. So that's what it means. Say, don't attach yourself. Because it just means that you pushed in one direction, but it didn't happen because the countervailing force is much stronger. So you have to figure out, okay, how do we now, what do I do next? How can I be more effective? So long as your intentions are good, the universe will try to help you. Okay, have faith that the universe will try to help you. And if it didn't happen, it's just not the right time yet. Okay, so that's the mindset with which we should be acting.
Yeah.
So you let go of the fruits of your action.
Yeah.
It's not in your hands.
Or you do the work and eat the fruits.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plant a seed.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely about like thinking like I think it's about dropping the ego, right? If it's
Correct.
good is happening, I'm not doing it. And if it's the wrong is happening, again, like it's just the universe trying to find the yeah.
Correct.
I have one other question about the roles. So when we say protector, it's like we are being protectors of like animals and nature, or protectors of those building Planet B and Planet B systems.
Oh, in that diagram, it's protectors of those building Planet B systems. Yeah. Because
Thank you, Dr.
otherwise that can get crushed.
Yeah.
Quickly. Yeah. And I mean, I also pointed out it's very similar to the Kshatriya role. If you think about the Kshatriya is the protector. The intellectual is the one, the innovators are the Brahmins, right? If you want to look at it in that perspective. And then the illuminators are the Vaishyas. They're the ones who sell it to others. And the hospice workers are the Shudras. So the caste system is also talking about the same transformation in that sense. But you have to understand it's not hereditary. It's anyone can play any one of those 4 roles at any given time.
Yeah.
Any
In fact, we will play one or the other. Like then we kind of pigeonhole ourselves into like, okay, I'm
Right.
only supposed to do this. Yeah.
Right. You may choose to do something else.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Rao.
Ram?
Yeah, Binik has a question.
Okay.
No, I don't have a question. I have a suggestion.
Okay.
I was thinking mostly about how to spread this good news. I was wondering if it would be possible and helpful to give a course for the Shift Network. Bram and I have taken quite a few courses through the Shift Network. One of the most amazing one was by Suzanne Giesemann, who has a way of helping people to shift from thinking that this is it, in this earthly life. There's a lot more. And that's just, like she has like 600 people following her courses on the Shift Network, and those people can spread it in their own communities or whatever. So that was my idea, whether that would be one good way to spread the good news.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tell me how I can help.
Yeah, well, you have to go find out how you go to the Shift Network. And then you will be in contact with the organizers.
Okay.
And then you can inquire whether you can give a course for them.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's all online, their courses.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
Good.
do that.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah. Try.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Amit, you have something to tell people?
We'll do that tomorrow. The
Tomorrow,
Mentimeter.
okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll do that. Yeah.
There are no other questions? Okay, Sai?
I was just curious to know more about that, you being keynote speaker at the Ethics Summit. So, if
I'm sorry.
just curious to know more details about the Ethics Summit. You said that you were invited as a keynote speaker. Are you going to make an announcement soon, or
Oh,
just some
yeah.
more information?
Hold on. Yeah, I can show you.
It looks like a big event.
Yeah, it is a big event.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I got introduced to them yesterday. Then I sent an email, and then he got a response today. And basically, the organizer said, "I'll make sure that you get in." And he sent me a form to fill in, and it's basically a keynote address. What it's asking.
Okay.
So,
Good.
I mean, there are lots of things happening like this.
Oh. Okay. Good. We'll be waiting to hear the announcement.
Yeah. So Food for Thought Festival at Stanford. We're going to be giving them vegan food. LA Climate Week, we're going to be going there too. So, so it looks like this is the year when the environmental movement comes on board. Let's see.
High time.
High time. Ram?
Yeah, I had one question. You said on Sunday there would be getting together again for a last talk. When would that be? At what time?
Same time.
Both
Yeah.
hours?
Yeah, both morning and evening, same time. So I'm going to send an email out to everybody today, tomorrow morning, my time. So it'll be today for you still.
Okay, good.
And basically saying that after the 31st episode, we will just gather so that I can ask you all questions.
Yeah, fantastic.
And then we will have we'll have a Mentimeter where we can get responses from you too, so that we can understand how best to take this message forward.
Yeah, we need your advice. That's for sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Deepak?
Oh, so actually, asked in chat, you were talking about your next book, right? So, it would have something like for every stage, like in Gita, we see from Swadharma to Kul Dharma to Sanatan Dharma. So for every stage, will there be like a way to how to create Planet B that way?
It's broken, not like that. It's more or less broken as, let me just open it up. And I don't want to. So I got 6 sections. And first section is basically describing Planet B, what it is, what is Planet B, why Planet A resists change. Let me just share it and show. See that I haven't. Okay. This is the working document. Here's the table of contents. So what is planet B? Why planet A resists change? The myths of planet A and the axioms of planet B, valid goals and invalid goals, designing planet B, the core systems, and then your personal transition guide, your personal food transition, living planet B beyond the plate, personal wellness as planetary healing, and personal practice to community change. Then comes community implementation guide, community food systems, rewilding and ecological restoration, policy governance and guardianship, and then organizational institutional guide, basics of it. I mean, just what is common among all, transforming education systems, transforming healthcare systems, business and workplace transformation, faith communities and spiritual transformation, transforming government and public institutions. And then systems and policy guide. This is just a placeholder now. Okay, systems and policy guide, and then tools, resources, and case studies. So that's the overall breakdown. Okay. And
Writing.
yeah, it's been a lot of writing, but I'm also writing it without having to reformat. And so meaning, you know, I'm using the same formatting that I had in There's a Planet B. So this way, we can just go straight.
Yeah.
So it's also roughly 30 chapters it's going to be. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Rao.
Sure.
Sounds
Sai?
like we have another month coming.
I have to tell Mike, you need to do the same thing again. Yeah. Go ahead, Sai.
Yeah, the diagram of Swadharma, the four types of dharma and the intersections between them, like that reminded me of Ikigai. I'm sure you know
Right.
the Ikigai
Right.
diagram, right? So was it inspired from that? Like, what's like who created this
Yeah,
diagram and
yeah,
what's
yeah,
the
it
story?
was. I
Oh,
asked ChatGPT specifically to create something like an Ikigai, and
okay.
yeah, it came up quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came really well. It looks really appealing, both visually and this depth to it. Yeah.
Right.
Great topic for another book. Actually, Ikigai, if you know, I'm sure it's the best-selling book worldwide. So if you have the same thing based on this picture on the cover page, I mean, it can
I wanted
take
to
the
do it
message.
in a different way, actually. In Ubuntu verse, there's one more diagram for skill, passion, and compassion, and I wanted to map it with that actually. But it didn't happen, so finally I did it with Ikigai.
Okay, great.
Okay.
The house is burning, but we're still sitting in the glow. Phones charged, lights on, pretending we don't know. But the forest is silent, the river's running low, and the flame on our plates is the strongest fire we throw. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is your hour. 7 boundaries broken, the earth pushed past the line. Climate, land, species, fresh water is in decline, not danger, disaster in real time. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Metafoodians rise, this is your power. And here in India, one truth stands the same. Milk is not just milk, dairy feeds the flame. Cows and methane, fields and forests turn to grain. Politics, culture, carbon, all wired to the same chain. Every cup of curd is heat in the air. Every block of butter is a forest repair. It's not a small habit, it's a planetary affair. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is our hour. Energy fixes half the hurt, Dr. Rao made that clear. But food fixes the other half, the half that's burning here. Change the plate, change the land, change the future's atmosphere. Put out the fire, put out the fire. Metafoodians unite, this is your choir. Every millet, every fruit, every sapseed, every bean is water on the wildfire of a world we've never seen. Every oil-free bite is a river turning clean. This is not perfection, it's direction. Not pressure, but protection. A week of choices can cool a generation. A company's courage can ignite a nation. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Echoes and rise, this is your hour. Metafoodians unite, Metafoodians ignite. Sharing love in the meta zone, light in the path to a cooler home. Put out the fire, ooh, put out the fire. Together we rise, together we inspire.